Greetings, everybody. It has been a long time since I've done TV Skywriter. Due to computer problems, I have to throw a huge shout out to the Apple Store here in Durham, North Carolina, first off, because my camera was in the my computer, my laptop, my Mac was in the shop twice in 2 months, and they cooked me up. So I want to thank them so very much. Now, TV Skywriter, I'm Patricia A. Murray, and TV Skywriter is emanating from Durham, North Carolina, here in wonderful USA. Basically, what I do here with TV Skywriter, I introduce people to the world, some people already known to the world, but they're artists, musicians, entrepreneurs, and just really interesting people. And sitting right next to me is a gentleman. Now, you're not actually born in Durham, but you're very well known in Durham for decades. Cayenne The Lion King. He is a hip-hop artist and conscious hip-hop artist and reggae star. Welcome to the show. I don't remember when I met you because I know you had a show. Now my radio show, Radio Skywriter from WNCU, you had a show at that time. That's probably where I met you. And yeah, actually, what was this called?
Yeah, we had a show.
The names changed a little bit.
Yeah. But I was going to
Actually, I'm sure you take a lot of people to look into who are now aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it. Just how also,
that's another thing I'm talking about, because you are a real super creative person. You have been promoting your shows and other people's shows. I've been here, what, 15 years now? For at least, or longer than that, right? Okay.
We're doing stuff for fun,
Yeah, it goes. Now, when I DJ, there's a song by you that I play a lot, and people love it. It's called Gonna Eat It, and people love it. I'm telling you, is it easily available? Because that, to me, is such a huge jam. I'm just not saying this because you're sitting next to me, but I play it whether you know I'm playing it or not. For some reason, it's just the melody, the groove. It's like a nice bounce to it, you know. And I want everybody to. Can they find it?
Well, right now we're working on 2 hours.
All right. Okay. Okay.
It's going to be amazing.
Good. Because that means wider.
Right.
Now, what you do in hip hop and reggae, do you have the same message? Because sometimes hip hop is talking about bad things and whatnot. So I think reggae is about talking about old school reggae.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because if you look at today's dance, it's hip hop. When you look at not the day dance, it has a message.
It's like early rap.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You can bust a Bob Marley dance, they kind of hard unless you're a bit of a celebrity. Music kind of lost the message. That's what I got.
So when you're doing hip hop and you're doing reggae, you're pretty much the same person. Different vibe.
With hip hop, you're going to reach a younger person. And that's who we really get. You can't speak this moralizing community. So you got to try to keep that's why hip hop.
I think you can make money without selling your hip hop.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a number for that you want.
I don't know. I think people gravitate towards, how can I put this? Young people, and I don't want to sound like I'm putting young people down, But young people are great consumers, and they will consume what they're pretty much good. There's not too many eras where young people rail against what's out on the market and say we prefer something else. They usually consume whatever's out there. Now, my generation, it was peace and love, fight the man, all that kind of stuff. I was born in '55, so you know what years I was a teenager. So, I mean, usually the music reflects the period, not always. Um, but like I said, young people will gravitate. It's not like the people have changed that much, but I just think that we consume what we're given, and we need to take more control. Because right now, people have, in fact, there is this jazz drummer named Maxwell. I don't look up to a lot of people, but I definitely look up. He broke it down. He said that the civil rights era and where young people were going against the grain, fighting for rights and whatnot, that unnerved the powers that be so much that they wanted to come up with something that would involve the youth in every aspect of their lives. And it was disco. Because when you look at it, disco was clothing, music, it was everything, just like hip hop was. Hip hop is clothes, and it's kind of a way to get kids involved in the normal world so they don't bother us wrongful. So the Maxwell broke that down, I didn't realize it's kind of like what's happening again with hip hop. Is that the good stuff, like your music and positive hip hop and people like back home, like Maggie Brown's doing positive things, you hear them on the radio.
Right, of course.
And it's for music.
Right, of course.
So I don't want to take over the conversation here. So I just want people to know that the people haven't changed that much. It's just that the powers that be have realized that, well, we black people don't own the airwaves. They can pretty much, knowing that we're great consumers, they will consume what they get, which unfortunately what happens now.
So it's all like hip hop, reggae, both of them, that we have culture.
Okay.
So therefore, the way of life and living together with each other. Because we call it groups. So it's still a child. That's how we what you're as you call them, how we they're going to try to do that one down.
And that's why I think it's so important to go beyond what's on the radio. And to, like someone on, I think it's Facebook, putting down hip hop, and maybe that's not what the radio, I thought that's the stuff that's on the radio. But I said, isn't it strange that the stuff that's on the radio is not that great? So when you go to hear local acts, why are the local acts so positive? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the good stuff, the local stuff, is positive and life affirming, but that does not jive with what's on the radio. And I think that happens in Chicago, where I'm from. It certainly happens here as well. So I think it's happening more than just two cities.
Oh yeah, of course. Right. Worldwide things really most of accept. They don't accept.
So they get to hear it on the radio, or just live?
Well, I mean, a lot of times, due to technology,
Okay. That's a good suggestion.
So I know that some organizations feel more or less it's like the technology. Because they have a lot of online radio stations.
I think that's cool. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you can just take it out to the people.
Exactly. That's why it's called hundreds. I feel
Wow.
the message.
I was just all over there.
Yeah, that's why they call it. Because you sit there in the face. I don't think you know it's sending a message saying that great people to do that. That's why I have a couple, very set.
I do. Okay, now you were not born, you were born in Atlanta, so I don't know anything about Atlanta. When you were coming up, what was popular? I'm just trying to figure out where you're coming from.
I really can't say what was popular. I never was dealing with what was popular. My dad, my grandfather was a musician, my dad was a musician. So, yeah, I deal with, my grandfather used to know how to write for that. Unfortunately, back in the day, a lot of cats didn't do credit for their work, so a lot of artists. I've seen sheep music and things like that. My first boy, 8 years old, and I had a lot of church and soul, 70 soul. And you see where I used to have a lot of, that was one of my background.
That's a nice background.
Right.
So you were always into music? You always knew you were going to do music?
Well, something that you don't really know. You never know who's going to come to what happens. It's just hard.
So in your case, did you start with reggae and move over to hip hop, or did you start with hip hop and then say, "Oh, reggae is cool"?
Well, it started like this. I started with hip hop.
Okay.
I just like the gritty and stuff like that. And then it happens one day, ready to in fact, even before that, Fred introducing the radio, introducing something else.
Okay.
I wanted to New York
Cool. So were you a front man, or did you play like music in the background, like keyboards or guitar?
But I've always been one of the vocalists. That's what I'm named eventually.
Okay.
So that's the church. Talent shows right there. So I've always been close.
Were you one of those guys always with a little notebook and always writing lyrics?
Well, I mean, kind of both.
Walking down the street.
Well, kind of both. God bless you. Like sometimes now, get on the road and I think it's like a song like this or whatever. I write it until I can anticipate. Sometimes the paper can already done. And they want to miss some kind of message that is sent to you.
So when did you make your first? You said you first started with you make your first recording at age 8. So when did you make your first, recording on your own as Cayenne The Lion King?
I didn't run 2 years ago. I came on my setting up this stuff. I did on stuff. Matter of fact, before that, something that's what I was doing. And also house set. So from there, led to mixtape.
So did it get airplay? Did you ever get good airplay?
Well, one of the times
or was that in Atlanta?
No. This was I moved up here around like.
Okay.
So I've been here a year.
Okay.
I was going on that good. I was consistent with skills. So I really started.
You started off promoting?
That's what I was going to say. Like, mostly came in and read, sitting here and said, I'm working man, you want to go do something for myself. I have to slowly, maybe find a way. So, that's where I come from. So, I think half of my people tell me I was
Although,
yeah,
so many of us do.
I mean,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking, but
tough decision.
My soul, I've tried. Get away restrictions, but You know, along with trying to think outside the box, and I stepped outside the box,
Okay.
start promoting.
You dismantled it.
Yeah, yeah, all day, you know. So, for years I was doing promotions, but I really actually started promoting through the gay thing.
Okay.
So what happened was it turned into, me being able to keep myself, family, people around me. So it became, it stepped up to a priority.
Okay. Because when I first heard of you, you were promoting shows downtown, I remember. Um, yeah, right, Housing Match? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And then they moved to the north side of town and did some things on the north side of town. And I think you did some things in the, what do you call it, the Armory downtown?
on the, yeah, started running it's a shot. I see it. Yeah,
Okay.
right there, my patio, I'm trying to
Okay.
so long story short, I said you what we use at the time. So I've been forward the other wall, like the party after the wall. So we
Wow, so you just saw an opportunity to go for it.
yeah.
I mean, the guy could have said no, and it wouldn't have been a big deal, right? But he said yeah.
Right, yeah, I mean, losing money.
Okay.
One of my biggest, that was teaching me November 2008, 5 months.
What's the secret to being a good promoter?
Persistence. That's my form. Consistency. That's persistence. Always be
Okay.
no matter what. The only difference that the results that you have is if you make it.
Okay. Now you're doing something at a place called Sausage Crab.
Yeah, they call it around 40, 49, side to side. They second Friday. You're running CJ's type of
So is that live or is that recorded?
Well,
Reggae or what?
no, when you do probably really good. In fact, next Friday, I'm thanking you for my man. So that's
Wait. Bam! There it is. Oh yeah. Now I see Adam's crew now. There's a group here in Durham called Dub Addict, and they're awesome. So they must be related.
Right, of course. There was yeah, they're bad disrespect, there was no grass, so we thought of doing something with, more into different, fresh for both of us, so we can
That is good. And it's so where is this? This is going to be at the 4020 Lounge, Sausage Crab. So it's going to be. Okay. Let me show it again because you just designed the coolest. What we call these pluggers in Chicago. We don't call them pluggers here. But you do design the coolest pluggers I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's little graphics for the artists. On the graphic design, every year in an hour,
I need to learn how to do what you do because your images and just the way you use colors and just the way you design the colors is really nice. I have to say that because I design as a Durham Skywriter in a newspaper, and I don't do it as well. I mean, I recognize you have a really good eye, and some of your others I need to learn how to develop. It's really nice, very nice. So as far as this show, you said it's going to be your debut, but you've been out here for what? Do you mean you're debuting a new CD?
But yeah,
Debuting with
band, you know, like I said, how you put it
Mhm.
it's been out for like 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a shame.
But, you know, when I realized it had reached certain boundaries,
Mhm.
open source system, you know, and I thought that it might just even match,
Mhm.
but actually the ground was so important.
Wow,
Yeah, so,
that's a compliment.
yeah, that was
Wow.
something very
You
unexpected.
didn't see that coming.
Right.
Wow,
So
nice.
from there, you know, I just kept it there. And, much bigger of a friend in the studio because we was going to record fast. Yeah.
You didn't realize it was a good song?
Well, you gotta recognize as an artist, you give yourself a certain light. You might not see amplify light that you're showing.
That's why you need to ask
Yeah,
people.
yeah, right. Well, that's what happened, you know,
Yeah.
because I was dealing with the best
Because it's not just, I've heard of other people saying, oh, it's not such a good song, and it becomes a hit. Yeah.
One of our songs got called it's like one of the songs, you know, I just
You're tired of it, but
well, I
love
just
it?
wrote it, but then I tried to more hide it, the more people requested. I just did something cool, with a recording, back to 2014, and it was, you know, wait for the song and to get me up later on Facebook, like, yo, you need to perform the song.
Oh,
So
man.
I was thinking it was one of my other songs. I thought it was Who Do You Love? Not Who Do You Love, but I Do. I used it.
Okay.
So it was,
Well, maybe what you need to do is to find out what your audience's favorite songs are. Make sure you always, because there are some artists, like in Motown area, they've been doing the same songs for 50 years. And some artists say, I hate some of these songs. I will not, play them again. I'm sick of them. Some artists are a little bit more gracious, and they're like, this is what got me over. This is what introduced me to the world. I will love this song forever, and I'll never get tired. And we're talking like 15, 16, 40 or 50 years. And I guess if I saw Stevie Wonder, there would be certain songs I want him to sing, and I'd be kind of hurt if he said, "Oh, my Sharia, more." That was what 1964.
right.
But if it's your favorite song, what you gonna do? Right?
Well, yeah, that was one.
So did you say you're gonna have a double hip hop album and a double reggae album?
Well, no, I'm actually, it's going to be, every album I release has a thing. One side is going to be put on, one side is going to be.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
the reason why is because I noticed that when I do shows, some people can still name so,
Oh. So that could be awful.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Because people that know before so they'll come to the show and expect, so I don't want to disappoint the fans. So ultimately,
So you never decided to do what some people do, and that is to record under whole different names?
no, because I mean, it's hard branding yourself as it is,
Yeah, right. And in fact, these people I'm thinking that took on second personas were famous already, and then said, I'm going to do country or whatever. Okay, you're right. You have to get out there first.
Yeah, because I mean, I actually already DJ.
Okay. How difficult was that? Because you don't come across as a person that's real aggressively outgoing. You seem like you're real humble and stuff.
No, humble, but when it comes to that's you're humble on the other time to receive, but when it's time to give, you have to be aggressive with it, people understand it, people want to talk to it. solid. You know, if I'm shaking, body will support. That's the only reason for rest.
Okay.
It's not to force my idea. It's just to manifest.
Okay. Now, for those who are watching this show and you haven't on your show yet to show the audience your new music, later, how can they find it?
Right now, you know, put stuff on. We're building the site. Cayenne The Lion King. In the meantime, I'll keep in touch with
Because it's like the pepper. Bam! There it is. And I want to throw this at the camera. Tell us about this. It says, vote. Is it okay to talk about this? Kabling. There you go. There's another one. So what's going on? Vote.
Well, with that,
Carolina Music Awards.
well, I've been blessed to. First of all, I'm starting with the top one. I'll say we got Desiree.
Desiree Dixon.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
He's honored this year. So, yeah, I want that to be doing better. Call me back in December. They want to show perform. That's much love. The next guy is Omar. He does the music.
Okay.
This one was real different because I had to go through family.
Okay. Okay.
So I was blessed enough to have my friends. I said, because for all you know, out there, that you nominated because really put like that.
Okay. So you want? So can anybody vote? Who can vote? Okay. So might as well. The buzzer.
It starts July 18th. The award show is August 2nd at the beginning of the building of the Raleigh.
Oh, Raleigh. Okay. Good time. Okay. So when your music comes out, is it going to be in CD form?
Yeah, it's going to be in CD form.
I know some people are now. They're doing vinyl now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm going to do some vinyl. Some of my guys, I kind of don't look like vinyl.
Nice. So vinyl, CD, and will it be available on, obviously you said your website, but like iTunes also?
Some other stuff.
Need music. I highly recommend it because as a DJ, I don't know if anyone is saying this, but as a DJ, I tend to go to e-music before the others because I play a lot of music from different countries, and e-music is very good when it comes to African music, and I would say music that's not traditionally considered top 40 American music. And e-music is really, I think iTunes does the best with maybe hip-hop, hip-hop, Japanese music. But e-music, I feel is the best for different types of black music around the world and different types of music. That's not type. Definitely different music. I suggest that. So,
I wanted to add.
sure.
More music.
Okay.
Once fans, boys, last tour, they start one music tour. I'm supposed to go on to July and start playing. Put out some music.
You mean this past January? You started it? Oh, see that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you here in New York?
Yeah,
military.
it's a festival. Probably not going to it's something,
But you're going to be there.
yeah. Brooklyn's everyone associated together. Yeah, man, that, this.
But it's going to be on your website.
Yeah,
You need to look up in Chicago. Chicago has so many festivals. There's Caribbean Festival, the Nigerians get together, the Ghanaians get together. Everybody, I mean, all these different groups have this festival in Chicago. You gotta look at
oh, yeah. That's what we're trying to do.
it. The World Music Festival.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to trust everybody. Like I said, big up percentage of
So is this going to be just you or you and the artist crew?
well, some of the dates.
Okay.
You know,
So how do you work it at the dance festival?
well,
Do you
you
track?
yeah, like because, or you know, like we go to like Florida,
Mm-hmm.
they were sitting at their own band.
Oh, they learn the music. How does it usually work out? Because you can't rehearse with them, right? You
Well,
don't
I
have any
mean,
time?
yeah. I mean, you come in the day before the show, and
You don't even know.
right. So
Wow.
it's a bunch of humbleness out the door because
Wow.
we go feel it
Mhm. So when you do your music live on tour, how do you? Is it left up to you to promote it, or do the promoters in these other cities call the radio stations and say, "Hey, I need so much money. We want you to promote this or
right.
interview them"? How does that work?
Right, that's maybe people at that time. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything to promote the music, but then trying to get so you know, so that the United States and the world, you know, putting on this, so it's being such festival.
Oh, yeah.
And I showed up there and I was great.
Wow.
You
Nice.
see that, matter of fact, on YouTube, I found it.
Okay. You have your own channel on YouTube?
Yeah.
Excellent. I actually would like to do. I think I've done a little bit of footage for some of your, couple of them. I don't think it turned out that great because I'm still learning.
No, it's
Still learning. But that's how I learn. People invite me or I invite myself to do footage, and if it doesn't turn out, no money's been lost. It's just disappointing, but then you learn. So I hope the next show I record will be good.
Good job, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So,
Absolutely.
anything that you want to support.
Same here. Same here, because you have been, wow, you're probably one of the first, if not the first, musician I met when I moved here. And I try to keep up with what you're doing. And whether you're promoting or doing your own thing now, what's really interesting about your promoting, I have seen you promote shows where you're not even on stage. I mean, you might take the stage to announce someone, but to me that takes a lot of. I can imagine deep inside you might feel, I want to be out there.
Yeah, I've done shows that I've done. That's what first radio show.
Wow.
We got
Oh,
this is what place he doing I have to do it.
Oh, 3,000 people.
First, you know.
They felt good, didn't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, especially when he's doing up there, he's going to go like stuff like that. So, you know, it's real.
Yeah.
Y'all know, he's doing it with the Lion show.
Wow, that's your show.
Yeah, he's stepping out on the track.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So we want to remind people that, for those who are watching this live, that next Friday we're going to be at the, let me look at this. It's July 11th at the Saucy Crab inside of the 4029.
It's 429.
Oh, inside the Saucy Crab. Yeah. Okay. And for us locals, that's Highway 1501. I'm tapping the boulevard. Now this is the design on Lion King. Addis Crew. Now Addis Crew, how long have they been around? Because they're bad too. They are really bad. Wow, and I love it. So, if you're anywhere within the area, just drive over there. It starts at what, 10:30, right? 10 o'clock. And it goes until 2, 3? Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks for being on the show. Give us your website again.
Yeah, right now, it's Facebook.com/Cayenne Music. Also, Twitter /Cayenne Music. Make sure you all see it so that you can
So that's it for TV Skywriter. I'm officially Murray, your host. Now, if you are a musician, artist, author, entrepreneur, just interesting person, as long as you speak English, because I'm unfortunately not bilingual in the language, but just get in contact with me, durhamskywriter@gmail.com. I have actually I've had a guest from England, and I have a couple of upcoming guests from Portugal, Australia, and Brazil. I'm glad they all speak English. As long as that's in place, get in contact with me. I'd love to have you on the show. With that, you have a great Sunday, a great week. I'll see you next week. Ciao for now. All right, bye-bye. It's awesome.